First Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 1. So I made up my mind that I would not make another painful visit to you. What do we learn from this? We're studying our way through 2 Corinthians. Did I say 1 Corinthians a minute ago? This is 2 Corinthians. We're studying our way through 2 Corinthians, and we've just made it all the way through chapter 1, and we're now in chapter 2. And half of chapter 1 has been devoted to this question of why did Paul not show up when he said he would? So now he's saying, I made up my mind that I would not make another painful visit to you. He heard things after he had said he was going to come. He heard things, he learned things that said that things were just a mess there. Now, the question then comes up, is he shirking his duty? Is he conflict averse? I know what it's like to be conflict averse. I've spent a lot of my life being conflict averse, which only causes more conflict in the long run. Somebody is saying against me or doing against me or something. It's like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm afraid of a fight. And I just kept getting angrier and angrier and angrier. The situation builds up more and more. Maybe it's something that they don't even know that they're offending me and would just change if I just said something. Let it build up until finally there's an explosion. So is Paul being conflict averse like that? I just don't want to deal with it. What's going on? Why won't he come just to avoid painful? Is he just like, I only want the kind of leadership experiences that are joyful and I don't want the painful part of leadership? Is that what's going on? And there are people like that. There are people in church leadership positions, I'm sad to say, who let a lot of things go, to other people because they don't want to deal with the painful parts. A lot of our whole issues in the church about marriage in many different ways are because preachers just don't want the pain of dealing with that very gnarly and sensitive issue on which there is clear Bible teaching. And they don't want to enforce clear Bible teaching because it's painful. Is that what Paul's doing here? Actually, I don't think so. What Paul is doing here is trusting that God is going to work this out. He has prayed about it. He is letting his life be led by the Holy Spirit. And he knows that of a promise, which he, in another one of his letters, he states explicitly, for God is at work in you, both to will and to do his good pleasure. And God, who has begun a good work in you, will complete it unto the day of Jesus Christ. God is doing the work, and God will complete it. So in this case, he knew that he had to wait while God did a work among the Corinthian church. And that then he would be able to come and visit them again. But until that time, he had to trust God to work it out. No matter how bad it was looking, no matter how much he wanted to go, just walk in there and fix it and say, you sit down, you go over here, you're the leader, you listen to this person, you're out of the church, all this stuff. He wanted to do that. And he knew it wouldn't help. He knew it would be a painful visit for them. And it would not accomplish God's glory, and it would not build them up in the faith. So painful as it was to wait, he waited and waited. Worried, grieved, and knowing he had to wait. And that's something we need to learn, that sometimes we have to just wait.